Let's have a look at the backhand sidespin serve in action. Now the key to this serve is hitting the ball moving sideways. You can see how much sidespin is generated. That ball really curves. Now unlike the backspin where you're hitting it moving down, with the sidespin serve you finish coming down and you're bringing the bat across. Let's have a look at this from a different angle. Again, you can see the key points are to really brush across the side of the ball, generating the side spin. So let's have a look at the backhand topspin serve. Now the key here is to brush up on the ball. Now that's going to cause the ball to kick forward. Now with the action you can come across a little bit, so you will get some side spin, but as you come up on the ball, that's going to get the ball rotating forward, which is going to kick. Here you can see you hit the ball a little later in the swing as the bat's coming up.
The high toss serve looks spectacular because you're throwing the ball up high. But why do we do it? Is it only to look spectacular? There are two main reasons. One is that by throwing the ball up higher, the ball, when it's coming down, is moving faster. So it'll hit your bat faster and be able to generate some more spin. The second reason is that it does distract your opponent a little bit because they need to track the ball all the way up and all the way down. So that just makes it a little bit harder for your opponent. So the two reasons: one, generate more spin; two, distract your opponent a little bit. You can use the high toss serve with all sorts of serves, with the pendulum serve, the backhand serve, the tomahawk serve, but most commonly it is used with the pendulum serve. The first key for the high toss serve is to make sure you get that toss up nice and straight. If the ball is going off to one side or the other, it makes the serve really difficult. So we need to practice the toss of the serve and get it coming down in the right spot.
Here we see the high toss pendulum serve. Now as we mentioned, the key to learning this serve is getting the ball toss right. So keep practicing that until you've mastered it. Then you can really start to focus on varying your serve, varying the spin, varying the speed, and varying the placement. Watch Alois do all of that here.
Having a great serve isn't the end of the story. What you need to do is you need to be able to have lots of variations so that your opponent never knows what's coming next. So what sort of variations can you have with your serve? There are three things that you can focus on: spin, speed, and placement.
look at that. It's so effective to combine different side spins. It's really hard for your opponent to track the ball. So these are ways you can really confuse your opponent. Watch how this curls from right to left. And then the pendulum from left to right. It's great use of the pendulum and reverse pendulum serves. Mixing up between your backspin, side spin and topspin serves is also a very effective way to keep your opponent off guard. By throwing in the different variations, it's hard for them to get used to your serve. Here in slow motion we can see the backspin serve. Watch how the backspin grips into the table and starts spinning the ball back towards the net. Now with the side spin, we're really going to get a lot of curve on the ball. And the topspin is going to skid through low and straight.
We've already learnt about the three variations of spin, of backspin, side spin and top spin. But the other thing you can do is you can vary the amount of spin that you're putting on the ball. So when we're trying to vary the amount of spin, what we need to think about is the speed of contact and the fineness of the contact. Let's have a look at our wheel. So to generate some spin, okay, we're brushing the ball and doing it slowly. That will generate a little bit of spin. To generate more spin, we need to brush it faster. Of course, we can vary what we do there. Sometimes we can generate lots of spin, sometimes we can generate a little spin, or sometimes we can generate almost no spin at all. So the different variations of the amount of spin are going to affect how your opponent returns the ball. If you put more backspin on the ball, they might hit into the net. The next one, you might put less backspin and they might pop it up for you to make a screaming forehand winner. In this passage of play, you will see two variations of the same type of serve with different amounts of spin. Firstly, Jeff's heavy backspin serve that Brett pops into the net. And now Brett does the no-spin serve that Jeff hits high and Brett puts away for a win. Another method of variation is the speed of your serve. So first up, you can serve short and slow. Or you can serve long and fast. Or you can mix it up. The main reason is it keeps your opponent off balance and off guard. By serving short, okay, they've got to come in. If you serve it long, they've got to go out. Varying it, okay, keeps them off guard and makes it more difficult for them. In a match situation though, you do need to serve most of your serves short. 80% is probably a good guide. Of course, that will always depend on your opponent. If they're particularly bad at returning your long serve, then you'll serve lots of long serves. But in general, you want to serve the ball short. Why short? Because by getting the ball to bounce at least twice on the other person's side of the table, it's harder for them to attack. And table tennis is all about making sure that you are the first person to attack the ball. Another factor in your variation is your placement. These two spots that we have here are the danger zones. Why are they the danger zones? Because this one here is right in the middle of your opponent's forehand. This one here is right in the middle of their backhand. Places to avoid.
Here you can see some devastating returns from balls served into the danger zone.
So these are the danger zones, but look at all the other places we can serve to on the table. Okay, lots of different areas. So where do we serve to? The first thing to consider is your opponent and their strengths and weaknesses. If your opponent is particularly bad on the backhand side, you're going to serve more balls to their backhand side. Conversely, if they're weaker on the forehand side, you can serve more to their forehand. Short is usually good. Short is good because it's harder for your opponent to attack the ball. Okay? This is a great area. Wide is good because it makes your opponent move out to the sides. Why is this area uncovered? That is the crossover point. And that can be difficult for your opponent because that's where they need to make a decision between a forehand and a backhand. If you think about it as being into their armpit, so not into their body because that's their backhand zone, but into their armpit.
Here are 3 effective long serves. The first wide to the forehand. The second goes deep into the backhand. And the third catches Jeff off guard into his middle.
So once you've learned a variety of serves, what serve should you use in a match?
Well, the key thing is to find a serve that your opponent doesn't like. Your best serve might be one that they like, and a serve that you aren't that confident with may be something that they really struggle with. So early in the match, try all your serves, see which ones they have trouble getting back. The other way to try and also get an advantage is to watch your opponent if he's playing in previous matches and just see what serves he doesn't like when he's playing other people.
Okay, so once you've found that serve that your opponent doesn't like, should you save it till the end of the match, or when should you use it?
I say use it early and use it often, because your opponent will struggle with the serve early, and instead of waiting till it gets to 9-all, if you use your serve early and use it often, it may never get to that stage. Another thing to consider is where you're serving that serve to. You know, you might serve your best forehand serve to their forehand and they might cope with it easily, but just try serving it short to their backhand and see how they cope with it there. Try various positions on the table and you might find you get a completely different result. Another trap that people fall into is trying to use their new serves in a crucial situation and failing early on. Remember, there are lots of stages to your learning of serving. The first one is to be able to do it in a practice situation. Then you could do it with someone standing at the other end. Then you might even be able to do it at a practice game situation. Okay? Finally, you might be able to use it in a match. And then the ultimate is to be able to use it in a crucial situation in an important match. But that doesn't happen straight away. You have to go through those different stages before you get there.
Here you see Jeff practicing his serves with a bucket of balls. This is an effective method because it gives you a lot of repetitive serving practice. Here Jeff is just serving repetitively for feel, so he's not too worried about where the ball's going, getting it short, or his placement. The next stage here is where he's getting set up like he would in a game. This gets you a little bit closer to a match situation. Now we're going to add someone at the other end. Again, this puts a little bit more pressure on you to serve correctly. This leads you to a rally. and then to a match.
We hope you feel more confident to go out and try new serves. You can now generate different types of spins and try them all out and see if you can go out there and confuse your opponent.
So now it's your turn. Now that the serving secrets have been revealed to you, get out there and give it a go and practice lots and make a difference with your serve.